We're here with a tornado warning that has been issued for the metro. We have several severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's go ahead and zoom on into the latest. And you are seeing the new tornado warning that has been issued for the storm lining up just east of Moore into Norman. It is traveling off to the northeast and will be heading towards Shawnee. You see right here, this little couplet here that's located over Lake Thunderbird. This little swirly part here, that's actually a vortex where we oftentimes can have a brief spin up out of this line. So this is on the outer edge. It's moving off to the northeast. So areas near Lake Thunderbird, people live in that area. And anyone in the path of the storm heading towards Shawnee, you definitely need to seek shelter immediately, as it will be a brief, likely a week, but a brief, quick tornado. In addition to that, we're looking at big time flooding along this line. It's moving up into Edmond, a severe storm over to Cashin, 70-mile-per-hour winds. We have our storm tracker out, Chris McBee. He's been monitoring the latest, and he's heading towards this storm. Chris, where are you located right now?
I am just now on I-35 south off of 240. I'm basically at 89th. Just kind of fighting the traffic, trying to get down to that area where the tornado warning was just issued. Hopefully it won't take too long to get down there, but rush hour traffic is proving tough right now. But yeah, definitely anyone in that area needs to seek shelter. Like you said, it'll probably be brief and you know, not very strong, but I'm still trying to get down to that area to see what's going on. Back to you.
Thanks for that. And are you noticing any big time flooding in that area?
I did notice some flooding on the service road on the south side of I-240. That's an area that's very susceptible to flooding, you know, in heavy rain. But yeah, definitely some flooding over there. Saw cars struggling to get through in that area. But yeah, still a lot of heavy rain in this area, and I'm gonna get down and see what's going on with this tornado warning.
Okay, thanks for that. Let's, control room, please take our velocity of max 3. I went ahead and got up the area of concern. So this is the main area that we are concerned with at this time. It's located east of Norman. You can see how it's enhanced right here, the bright shades of green towards, and then the red is away from the radar. That represents rotation. So the fact that it's coupling up a little bit, this is the area we are concerned about. If you're looking, it's 156th Avenue Southeast, and then just south of East Stella Road. So this is close to Lake Thunderbird, and it's going to be tracking off to the northeast towards Bethel Acres and eventually towards Shawnee. Now, the good thing about this type of situation is these go up and start rotating very fast. It can briefly drop a tornado, and then it will lift back up again. In addition to that, this line of storms could potentially produce 70-mile-per-hour winds and very, very heavy rainfall. Okay, I'm going to take it back to the radar so I can show you the latest on this one. Give me a second. Handling this behind the scenes here. Okay, now going back to the tornado warning on the radar. Again, we have Chris McBee heading that way. Very heavy rain. Here is the latest. So zooming in, you can see how it's bowing out a little bit by pink. That's the area we are definitely concerned about right now. So I'm going to go ahead and telestrate on it. Here we go. And this is the area we are concerned about. There's definitely rotation in that region. This is located just west, southwest of Pink. And this is near Lake Thunderbird. Definitely could be dropping a tornado at this time, a very weak tornado. So you need to seek shelter immediately. And also I'd go ahead and caution people in the town of Bethel Acres and in the town of Pink need to seek shelter immediately as well, as this could be dropping a tornado already. Or if it doesn't, it could at any moment. I'm going to go ahead and loop it back again. And that's the area of concern, just west of Pink, moving off to the northeast. Let's take it back. Oh, we're streaming with Chris McBee. That's very good. So tornado warning at this time continues, heading towards Bethel Acres and Pink. It's over the Lake Thunderbird area. And we are also tracking other severe thunderstorm warnings. That's important to note. It's not just this area, it's the entire line of storms. And this isn't the only area that can create this kind of situation. This happens when there's a line of storms and it's bowing out. And sometimes on the edges, these swirls can happen and they create a little small vortex, which can drop a tornado. So the line of severe storms goes from Edmond, Cashin, down through Edmond, all the way down into our tornado warned area near Pink, and then extends all the way down through Stratford, down through Sulphur, extending down through Tishomingo into Kingston and Medill. That's a line of severe storms producing 70-mile-per-hour winds and also immense flooding. So heaviest rain already moved through the metro, bringing very heavy flooding. Eastern sides of the metro right now seeing the heaviest rain, Edmond as well. And of course, we are tracking this tornado signature located west of Pink that's moving off to the northeast. Let's go ahead and pitch it out to Chris McBee really quick if we could. Chris, where's your current location?
I am southbound in Moore right now, trying to figure out a way to get east over there to see the the area that's affected by that tornado warning. Traffic northbound on I-35, as you can see, is just gridlock. So, right in the middle of rush hour, a very strange time of day to have a tornado warning. But yeah, I'm just trying to get down to that area right now and fighting rush hour. But as soon as I can, I'm going to get east and get over to that area.
Have you noticed anything with the flooding, Chris, in terms of the traffic holdup, any flooding, any ponding on the roadways?
Not since I was on 240. I-35 is in pretty good shape in the South Metro, it looks like, right in this area. I mean, we're still getting rain, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, I mean, traffic's flowing pretty well southbound, but northbound's a different story. But that's more rush hour than flooding, So we're okay for the moment.
Very good, very good. Thanks for that report. Well, he's trying to get there right now. The area of circulation, it's very clear now. I put on the velocity. It's located just northwest of Pink. It looks like the circulation's about to cross East Stella Road, also known as Southeast 149th Street, and eventually head towards the intersection of Southeast 134th Street. And this isn't the only area we're watching for possible circulation because this can happen along the line. And you can see this whole line is severe. So zooming in again, this is a 15-minute loop. What we look for as meteorologists is where the green meets the red. That means towards and away from the radar. So if you see with the 15-minute loop here that I put on with the velocity, you can see the red and the green mingling together, swirling around. That is the area of circulation we're concerned about. Again, this is located east of Moore and Norman near the Lake Thunderbird area. It is tracking off to the northeast. So it looks like it's going to pass just northwest of Bethel Acres. And if it holds together, eventually move into Shawnee. So this circulation has not gone away yet. So that means there is a possible tornado if there isn't already on the ground. So you need to treat it like there is a tornado on the ground, get to that tornado safe spot. This can happen with a line of storms. They usually happen suddenly like this, and then they typically die within about 5 to 10 minutes. We have seen this before. I think I distinctly remember last year around Ada, we had the same situation with a line of storms. So we have, the good news is we have a storm tracker. We have our ground truth heading that way. He's trying his best. In addition to that, obviously, you can see from the live picture that there is very, very heavy rain. So flooding is a huge threat as well. So if you're just tuning in, maybe you're hearing the sirens going off in your area near the town of Pink, there's a tornado warning for your area. And we are also tracking a line of severe storms. So here's a wider view of it. You can see the line of storms from Edmond getting some heavy rain, Choctaw as well. OKC, you just had a batch of heavy rain, didn't sit overhead, so that's the good news. Technically, you're still under that severe thunderstorm warning, but the strongest line of storms has pushed well east of Oklahoma City. Now it's pushing into Choctaw, heading towards Luther, where you could have 70-mile-per-hour winds. This is extending all the way down towards Tribby, and that tornado warning is eventually going to be heading towards Shawnee. That line of storms moves all the way southeast, all the way down to Ardmore, which, by the way, there are reports of damage coming in from Ardmore now. In fact, we're getting reports of damaged houses and multiple power lines down in Marietta. And that's coming from emergency management in that area. So this line of storms is not messing around. 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds will be possible out of it. So this just moved through Marietta. That severe part of the line now is moving through Medill, up through Tishomingo into Sulphur, pushing into Stratford, and eventually into Ada. We're seeing some extremely heavy downpours out of this. As we zoom on in, we are looking at the couplet that's moving east of Norman, just north of Pink into Bethel Acres. That is still a tornado warning. So I know it's more rural area over here, but if you live in the vicinity, you definitely want to treat it like there is a tornado on the ground. This is, again, the area we're concerned about, although it appears to be broadening, is about to cross over Stella Road near Southeast 134th Street, which is located just northwest of the town of Pink, near Choctaw Road and near Highway 9 crossing. Let's go ahead and take it out to Chris McBee, who is heading that direction. Chris, I know you're trying your best. Are you able to see anything from your point of view?
Not anything currently from my point of view, at least tornado-wise or anything like that. I'm doing everything I can to get over to the east here, but no, I haven't been able to observe anything. But I'm definitely going to head to that area and see, if there's any damage or see what was happening, because that definitely was a radar-indicated tornado. It looked like with the couplet tightening up. So I'm heading that way, and as soon as I have some information, I'll let you know.
Okay, thanks for that. And we're also getting word, by the way, that it looks like a tornado watch will be coming out in a little bit here. So, all right, we're having, all right, so tornado warning is about to come out for Choctaw now. So we're about to have 2 tornado warnings. Let's go ahead and zoom on out. I want to give you an overview of the storm right now. And you can see the line of storms is severe from Cashin to Edmond to Choctaw, all the way down through Tribby. And this is the area we're now concerned about. So the area over Choctaw, heading towards Hara, new area of circulation. And this type of thing can happen on a line of storms. You get a brief spin up, a brief vortex signature, and you can have a weak tornado touching down. So here we go. New tornado warning just issued. New tornado warning for Lincoln, Logan, Oklahoma counties. And it looks like Oklahoma City will start to be activating its sirens. Not for the entire metro area. Eastern sides of the metro will be activating its sirens. So if you're hearing it, this one is heading towards the town of Luther. There we go. Let me get the proper, that is not supposed to be on there. Let me get the proper velocity. All right, moving up the line. Here we go. We are tracking the 2 tornado warnings. One for the Choctaw area and the other one that's still ongoing northwest of the town of Pink. So 2 tornado warnings at this time. Let's go ahead and take a wider view. So we have this area bowing out near the town of Pink, Southeast 134th Street. That's what we're concerned about. And South Hara Road. So that's where that area of circulation is moving. And then we have our new possible tornado warning, and that is located just east of the town of Choctaw that we are concerned about. So let's take it out to Chris McBee for a quick update as he's heading that way. Chris, as you know, you're heading towards the 1 tornado warning, and of course we have another area of circulation that we're concerned about now for the town of Choctaw. Let's go ahead and pitch out to you.
Yeah, I did see that coupled over Choctaw as well. I'm trying to get east to where I can position on one or both of these tornado warnings. That's my plan right now, and like you can see, I'm fighting traffic to do just that. So, storm chasing in a metro area is never easy, especially during morning rush hour. So, but no, I'm heading that way as soon as I can, and I'm just trying to make some progress here. But as soon as I see something, I will let you know.
Okay. Thanks for that. And we are keeping a close eye now on 2 tornado warnings. Let's go back to the maps. If you are just tuning in, we have 2 areas that we're concerned about. What happens is whenever you have a line of storms like this, oftentimes as it bows out on the outer edge, you can have a brief circulation. So we had our first one go up northwest of the town of Pink. That is still tracking northeast towards Bethel Acres and eventually towards Shawnee. And then we have another one located near Choctaw. That's going to be tracking south-southeast, just south of the town of Luther, and eventually crossing I-44. So there's a tight couplet there we're watching as well. This is east of the metro, in addition to the potential tornado, we have 70-mile-per-hour winds. This already has a history, this line, of producing damage in southern Oklahoma as it moves through. And this isn't just the only area seeing it. I believe there's a weather-related, possibly traffic accident. Let's go out to Lacey Lett for an update on that breaking news.
It's actually looking like right there in Midwest City off of 29th Street, there in the JCPenney parking lot, there are 4 cars, I'm being told, that seem to have overturned. It could be from the wind. It could be from these severe storms or a possible tornado. We do have a crew headed to the scene right now. But again, the area there in Midwest City, right where the parking lot is in JCPenney, there are some cars that look like they have been overturned. I'm also being told that there doesn't look to be like there was anybody inside of those vehicles at the time. So that's why we were thinking it wasn't a traffic accident necessarily, but maybe possibly from the storms there. So that's the latest there, but we do have a crew headed to the scene to find some more information out there. You can also go to KFOR.com for all the details. That will have the latest information there, Emily.
Okay, thanks for that. Let's go back to the radar, Lacey. I'm getting reports now of damage in Midwest City. Possible damage from Midwest City. And this just in too, we have a brand new tornado watch that was just issued. Man, this is all happening very quickly here. I mean, we're expecting the line of storms, and this can happen. This can happen with the line of storms. Okay, here's a big overview. So we have a tornado watch. I got to figure out what time this goes until. So we have a tornado watch for eastern Oklahoma, and this is going to go through the afternoon. Brand new watch that just came out all across eastern Oklahoma, and it's mainly for this line that is just charging east. I mean, look at how many people are impacted by this. This goes from Stillwater all the way down through Ardmore. So far, we've had reports of damage near Marietta, near Ardmore, down tree limbs, some down power lines in southern Oklahoma, and now we're just starting to get reports of damage in Midwest City. In fact, if News Desk is listening, I think we should send a crew out that way to Midwest City to cover it. We're already heading out there now. Perfect. You don't even need me to tell you. Okay, let's go ahead and take it out to Chris McBee, who is tracking the latest. He's trying his best to get out that way towards the 2 areas of circulation, but rightfully so. Traffic is pretty intense right now. This is a busy time of day. A lot of folks heading to work for a later start, and we're also dealing with flooding in the area. Chris, what's the latest?
Yeah, all those different factors together with the traffic and the flooding and it being rush hour and a very odd time of day to get tornado warnings. As I'm sure everyone is aware, this is normally a late afternoon type of thing. So, yeah, I'm trying to get up to those areas of circulation. I'm northbound on Sooner Road right now. I'm going to get up to the 240 area. I might check on that damage in Midwest City as well, because these areas of circulation are just racing to the northeast. So, you know, it's pretty challenging out here to try to make tracks towards severe weather when you have all these different factors that are adding up there. But, you know, this doesn't look too bad for traffic, and I'm going to head up there. Have you seen is the couplet still strong over Choctaw? I'm not able to look at radar right now.
It's definitely still there right now. As you'd expect for these type of situation, it pulses up and goes back down. So I think it was as strongest as it moved through Midwest City and Choctaw. Now it's pulsing back down again. But, you know, tornado watch was just issued, Chris, and we believe that this line of storms will continue the same type of situation where it keeps producing these brief spin-ups and circulations along the line. So go ahead and head that way, and we know you're on top of it. We'll be checking in with you.
Yeah, I'll do everything I can to get up there. Just like I said, a challenging situation. It's not like tornadoes in May where, you know, they're a little more predictable and a little easier to see and things like that. So, yeah, these kind of tornadoes are very brief. They're kind of like needles in haystacks, you know, when you have a situation like this. So, it's a lot of challenging. You know, it's a big challenge, but I'm I'm out there giving it my best shot. So as soon as I see something, I'll let you know.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it. It's all we can do, right? And you're right about the needle in the haystack. Let's take it back to radar so I can update you. If you're just tuning in right now, maybe you're hearing sirens going off in your town. I was alerted that eastern sides of the metro, some of the sirens would be going off. We have 2 tornado warnings at this time, and we have several severe thunderstorm warnings. What you're seeing in the light green, this is a tornado watch that goes until 2 p.m. today. So here's the situation that's going on. We have seen this before. It is a line of storms, and sometimes on the outer edge of the line, it can briefly bow out, which causes this circulation and can briefly drop a tornado. We've already seen that happen near Lake Thunderbird. That tornado warning continues and is heading towards Shawnee. At the same time, we have another one, and that one's located near Choctaw and Midwest City, and we've already received some reports of damage near Midwest City, and that is moving off to the northeast near Chandler. At the same time, we're still watching the rest of the line because a similar setup could easily happen where we could have a brief spin up along that line as well. And that's why the tornado watch has been issued. So this is not done yet. We are far from over. And like Chris was saying, kind of a needle in the haystack. The problem is these spin ups happen very quickly. They quickly drop a tornado, and then just as quickly as they spin up, they die back down again, and then a new area of circulation forms. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this. We are watching the 2 areas of circulation. In addition to that, we've had some very heavy rain and flooding move through the metro. So I want to go ahead and zoom on in for you to the 2 areas we're concerned about. We have this tornado warning that continues for this area moving from Pink towards Bethel Acres and northwestern sides of Shawnee. It would be a brief spin up. And then moving off to the northwest, we are also tracking that other area of possible circulation that's moving through Choctaw into Hera and pushing off to the northeast. We have another area over Luther that's moving towards Wellston. So we kind of have 3 areas we're concerned about right now. Let's go ahead and take it out to Kevin Josephy. He is now out in the fields for us. Our team of storm trackers continue to watch the latest. Josephy, where are you located right now?
Only right now I'm at 15th and Broadway, and Edmond had some streaming issues earlier, but it's all this stuff just moving through at a rapid pace. I'm on just on the western sides of that line of storms as it pushes on through the metro, but people need to be aware, be caught off guard this morning that, something like this is going on. So if you know someone who may not be too much weather aware, go ahead and give them a call and give them a heads up about this stuff, heading their way. But anyway, I'm racing towards it, trying to get into the thick of it and find some stuff out for you. Back to you.
Thanks for that. Excellent report, Josephine. We know you'll be keeping an eye on it. So I'm looking at the current circulations near Luther. Let's see, let's zoom in between Luther and Hera. You can see it moving through. Meteorologist John Slater's here, so we can have team coverage. Yay! I can have some help. Okay, and moving down the line, we're also tracking this other area of circulation that we're concerned with on the northwest side of McLeod. So you see that bright shade of red there moving into McLeod? That's going to be moving off to the northeast. That's what we're concerned about. And eventually, that could be heading towards Jacktown and northwestern sides of Meeker. So, backing it out, I also want to point out we are tracking huge areas of flooding. That is a big concern. We have seen around the metro 4 to 6 inches of rain fall in a short period of time. That, the ground's saturated from the flooding we had last night. So flood advisory continues across the state. And we also have a flood watch continuing. Also, this was just issued. We have a tornado watch that has now been issued for eastern Oklahoma. So this is a nice overview of the line of severe storms lining up from Stillwater all the way down, line of severe storms all the way down through Ardmore. And John, once you're done, come over here, and if you could drive the radar for me, that'd be great. Zooming in, you can see the line bowing out near Luther, all the way down west of Shawnee as well. And we are about to have another tornado warning issued for the Tecumseh area. And the line just keeps going tornadic, and here's why. You have the line of storms pushing east, and then you can have the areas of circulation forming along that line. And here is the line of storms from Guthrie to Luther to Choctaw, all the way down through Tribby. Everything's moving off to the northeast pretty rapidly, around 30 miles per hour. And on the outer edge of it, you can have a brief little spin up. So thanks for that Later, we have the 2 tornado warnings right now. I think we're about to have another tornado warning issued for the Tecumseh area. Zooming in, you can see this one. We're concerned about the circulation that is heading towards Wellston. So Wellston, whether or not there's actually a tornado on the ground, it doesn't matter. You want to treat it like there is a tornado on the ground and get into that safe spot right now. Now, these type of tornadoes are tricky because they briefly spin up, they drop, they cause damage, and then they move out. We're sending crews right now to Midwest City to verify some reports we've been getting into the newsroom about damage. Now, moving off to the southeast, this is the new tornado warning near Tecumseh. So you can see how it's bowing out here. Here we go again. Very subtle on the radar, okay? So you have this line. Earlier, we had that tornado warning over the Lake Thunderbird area, moving off to the northeast. Now we're tracking this area near Tecumseh. You see how it's bowing out closely, slowly drifting off to the northeast towards Tecumseh, and it's going to move just northwest of Earlsboro. So we have a serious ongoing situation here. This line of storms, it's not going to let up. I think this is going to be trend for the next several hours, where we have a line of storms, we have a brief little spin up, and then it continues to move off to the east. So several tornado warnings at this time. Let's go ahead and jog down the line, John, to continue tracking that line of storms, because it's also severe, heading all the way down into Asher, Kanawha, heading into Ada, and it has the potential of producing 70-mile-per-hour winds. We've had some reports near the town of Marietta in southern Oklahoma of it producing some down power lines. So you can see pushing off to the northeast towards Kanawha, strong winds. Moving farther south if we can. We are tracking this line of storms. Still potential of 70-mile-per-hour winds, of very heavy rainfall. Flooding is still a huge concern, as we have had reports of localized flooding around the metro and unfortunately some accidents. I believe, Lacey, no, you have some updates on some of those accidents? Okay, let's go ahead and take it out to Lacey, where she has more information on some reports coming into our newsroom about various accidents around the metro. Lacey.
Issues of damage. So the accident we're talking about, where there are 5 cars now overturned in the J.C. Penney parking lot there in Midwest City. Now that is right off of 29th Street. We do have a crew on the way to the scene right now to gather some more details there. We're also hearing about down power lines in the area there in Midwest City, as well as down power lines in the 10,000 block of Northeast 23rd Street. So we have a crew on the way to the scene there. I'm also on the Twitter feed looking at the Oklahoma City Fire Department. They are reporting a trampoline that has been thrown into the power lines on Southwest 81st Street. Still gathering some more details on exactly the location with that one. It looks like it's in the 2400 block of Southwest 81st. No injuries so far have been reported. Of course, we are just now getting this information into our newsroom, but please be safe. Please do not go outside. There are several different accidents going on right now, down power lines in Midwest City, Northeast Oklahoma City, as well as Southwest Oklahoma City. So we're just gathering some more details there on if there's been any, how much damage has been done, but if there are any injuries reported. And we have several crews that are now on the way to the scene, but hearing about several different reports of damage here in the metro. As well as of course, Emily was talking about out near the Shawnee Tecumseh area. So please be safe. And we are getting a picture in of these cars that are pretty much mangled in the JCPenney parking lot here. Taking a look, they are completely overturned. They're possibly from a tornado or the severe storms, the wind obviously overturning those cars. 5 vehicles total there in Midwest City. Again, that is right off of 29th and the JCPenney parking lot. So Emily, we're hearing about reports of damage in several spots around the metro area, of course, Midwest City and also Southwest Oklahoma City and Northeast Oklahoma City.
All right, I appreciate that. We have team coverage right now. We have our news crews together. Meteorologist John Slater is here driving the radar. And then we also have our team of storm trackers out trying to track the latest. Now, I will tell you, this is extremely challenging forecast situation. What happens in this type of situation, you have a line of storms on the outer edge of the line. You get a very brief spin up, a very brief circulation. So this is going to be an ongoing thing here. You'll have a brief circulation, pulse up, drops a possible tornado, pulses back down again, and then a new area of circulation pops up along the line. Even if you don't have a tornado warning, a weak tornado is possible. In addition to that, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and we could be looking at, of course, flooding. That's a huge concern. So right now we are tracking several tornado warnings, and John Slater's going to help me move along the line with this. First of all, the severe storms start up by Mulhall through Guthrie and then extend all the way down into southern Oklahoma. So zooming in, we have the line of storms just rolled through Guthrie. It's about to drift towards Stillwater with 70-mile-per-hour wind potential in the northern end of this line. Then moving down to our tornadic storm, just blazed through Luther. It's going to be heading towards Kearney and northwestern sides of Chandler. This is where we had an area of circulation just northwest of Wellston. At this point, it's, I think, just indicated by this little dip here. Perfect. Switched over to velocity. Give us an idea of the wind. So moving up the line to that storm up by Wellston. There you go. The circulation doesn't look as potent as what we saw earlier. John, let's jog down the line. I think the Tecumseh storm is the strongest right now. And this is the middle storm that moved through, about to head towards Meeker. And then we have this southern storm, and that is moving into Tecumseh. Let's zoom in a little bit closer if we can, John. And you can see how it's dipping here. See that yin and the yang? How the green and the red meet. That's away and towards the radar. That's where we see the circulation. That's what the radar is telling us. It's moving off to the northeast, just located just north of Tecumseh, in between Tecumseh and Shawnee. So hopefully you're not traveling along I-77 here. If it continues this course, it'll move towards southern and eastern sides of Shawnee at around 9/11. So you have about 10 minutes till that possible circulation moves through. That being said, it easily could fizzle out in 10 minutes, but I don't want you to treat it that way. I want you to treat it like there's a radar on the ground right now and take your safety precautions immediately. We are also looking at 3 tornado warnings at this time. The severe storm continues down all the way through Ada. By the way, I'm getting some reports from the southern end of this line, if we could go farther south, John, that this produced severe weather in Love County, and they're getting multiple reports of damaged homes, power lines down, and obviously the power's out from that one. So that just moved through Marietta. That means the line that's moving through Durant, and that's starting to bow out as well. So another concerning area as it moves south of Atoka. So lots of areas of concern along this line. That's why a large tornado watch has been issued for essentially all of eastern Oklahoma as this line of storms surges off to the east. And in addition to that, we're going to be looking at immense amounts of rainfall. So very heavy rain out of this, creating some flooding. You can see that the line expands all the way. Let's do a wider view, John, if we can. The line expands all the way from Enid all the way down to Durant, charging off to the east. And now, instead of it being one long line segment, which traditionally causes damaging straight line winds, it's kind of breaking up into little segments, and that's what's allowing for these brief little spin ups to happen along those bowing segments. So I believe it looks like we have our northern tornado warning. That continues. Let's go ahead and switch over to velocity if we can to see where the possible rotation is. That just moved through Luther, and it continues to move just northwest of Chandler. There we go. Let's go ahead and take it out to one of our storm trackers. Do we have Kevin Josephy available?
Yes, Emily, can you hear me? Hello, Emily?